As US and Israel continue to attack Iran to launch its fierce counter-offensive, IRGC says it has launched its 80th wave of attack on Israel and US bases. Well, this comes at a time when US President pushes to end the war. But Iranian state TV reports that Tehran has rejected peace proposal and has laid out 5 conditions to end the war. Our next report brings you the latest images from the war zone. Take a look.
The Israeli military says that it has dropped 15,000 bombs on Iran since the war started on February 28. The Israeli military claims to have struck a submarine development facility in Isfahan.
At night, sirens began echoing across central Israel. Air defense radars had detected something incoming. Fast, high altitude, ballistic missiles. Within seconds, interceptor systems launched into the sky, racing to meet the threat before it reached the ground. The target this time was not a military base, not an airfield, but something far more critical, a major power facility near the coastal city of Hadera, one of the key nodes in Israel's energy grid. And if this strike had landed directly, the consequences could have been far more serious than just another explosion. According to Israeli military assessments, several incoming missiles were successfully intercepted mid-air. One missile, however, managed to reach the area near the power station. It struck an open zone nearby, triggering a fire but causing no direct damage to the facility itself. The Wall Street Journal. That detail matters, because this wasn't just another random target. This was a signal, a shift in strategy. Modern warfare is no longer limited to battlefields. It is increasingly about infrastructure, energy, water, communications, the systems that keep a country running. And by targeting a power plant, the message becomes clear. You don't need to destroy the military, you can disrupt the country. The facility near Hadera is part of Israel's core electricity network. Power plants like this feed energy into the national grid. From there, electricity flows into homes, hospitals, military bases, and industrial zones. If a major power station is disabled, the effects cascade quickly. Blackouts, disrupted communications, interrupted military operations. Even short-term outages can create chaos. This is why energy infrastructure is considered a high-value strategic target. It is difficult to defend completely, and even partial disruption can have wide-ranging consequences. But hitting such a target is not easy. Ballistic missiles must travel hundreds of kilometers. They rise into space, then descend at extreme speeds. During the final phase of flight, interception becomes a race against time. Israel's defense network is designed to handle these threats. Systems like the Arrow missile defense system are built to intercept long-range ballistic missiles outside the atmosphere. Closer to the ground, systems like Iron Dome engage shorter-range threats. But even the most advanced systems have limits. Because interception is not guaranteed. It is a probability game. And when multiple missiles are launched in waves, the complexity increases. Iran has already demonstrated this strategy in previous attacks, launching large numbers of missiles and drones simultaneously. Some are intercepted, some are not. But the goal is not always total destruction. Sometimes it is about forcing the defense system to work harder, consume more interceptors, and eventually allow a few missiles to get through. This is known as saturation strategy, and it is becoming a defining feature of modern missile warfare. The strike near Hadera also highlights something else: range, the ability to hit targets deep inside enemy territory. Iran's ballistic missile program has evolved significantly over the past decade. With ranges exceeding 1,000 kilometers, these missiles can reach targets across the region. Wikipedia. That capability changes the battlefield, because distance is no longer protection. But while the physical damage from this strike was limited, the psychological impact is much larger. Power plants are not just infrastructure. They represent stability, normal life, daily routines. When they become targets, the sense of security begins to erode. This is especially important in a conflict that is already escalating across multiple fronts. Missile strikes, air raids, energy infrastructure attacks across the Gulf. Each new development adds pressure and increases the risk of miscalculation. The Hadera strike fits into a broader pattern. Recent attacks have targeted oil facilities, gas fields, shipping routes, and now electricity infrastructure. This suggests a shift toward energy warfare, a strategy aimed at disrupting the systems that power modern economies. And that raises an important question. What happens if such a strike actually succeeds? If a missile directly hits a major power plant, the impact could be immediate. Electricity outages across large regions, disrupted transportation systems, pressure on emergency services, and, in extreme cases, cascading failures across the grid. Because modern power networks are interconnected, damage in one location can affect multiple regions. For now, that scenario has been avoided. Interceptors worked, damage was limited, the system held. But the trend is clear. Targets are evolving, strategies are changing, and the line between military and civilian infrastructure is becoming increasingly blurred. For defense planners, the challenge is growing. How do you protect an entire national grid? How do you defend every power station, every pipeline, every facility? The answer is you can't protect everything, which is why conflicts like this are becoming more complex, more unpredictable, and more dangerous. Because in modern warfare, the most powerful weapon is not always the one that destroys the most. Sometimes it's the one that disrupts everything. Caret Z